Americans, I will say this, and I'm half Canadian, don't like it when they hear you say, I'm Mexican. Then we don't want people here who don't identify as American. Is that fair? Because you shouldn't be here if you're not American.
You left there for a reason.
Yeah.
Your culture wasn't working. I'm not saying that your culture is bad, but the government's not working, and if you start bringing those kind of elements back into the government, you're going to get the same thing you had where you came from.
Right. At your house, do you wave the American flag? Chinese flag?
Oh, we don't have any flags.
Get an American flag. We expect that of immigrants here.
This week, I'm back in the streets of Dallas, Texas for the latest edition of Talking with People, in which I talk with people. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just seeing what people think, gauging the temperature. People who don't work in cable news or social media. And this week, just like ICE, I was looking for some immigrants.
If you're going to have 21 million people, and if we have to get a lot of them out because they're criminals, we're going to have to act fast. We can't. Do you think we can give 21 million trials?
Hay mucha migra y todos están cayendo. No les recomiendo cruzar porque hay un chingo de...
Hey, where's your fucking warrant? Where's your warrant? No, f*** you. There's gonna be one floor above us.
Luckily for me, I found some. Legal ones. I assume. I didn't ask for their papers, but I did pick their brains on how they viewed President Trump's current deportation agenda. Is it too hot? Too cold? Just right? Is their perception, like many of us, shaped by media or their experiences? And as immigrants themselves, with backgrounds ranging from Mexico to Cuba to China, they all had different points of view. And you can choose whose perspective you line up with most. Comment below. At the end of all this, we decided that I think they can stay in the country. Well, most of them. This is Talking with People.
What's your name, sir?
Chico, nice to meet you.
Chico? Steven, nice to meet you, Chico.
Meet you, my friend.
So, you live around the area? You visiting? Or?
It's like 5 minutes away from here.
Yeah? Do you like it here?
I love Dallas.
Yeah?
Good city.
We've had some people complain about the heat, saying it's bipolar today.
Of course. No, today is beautiful.
Yeah, this is not. So what are you complaining about today?
Maybe next morning it'll be like 100 degrees, so
yeah,
there's nothing to complain today.
I know. I was raised in Canada where we get negative 40, so I'll take a little heat if that means I don't get 9 months of blistering cold.
Yeah, for real.
Obviously, a big topic in the news is immigration in this country. Deportations have stepped up. We've seen these riots, protests in the streets. What are your initial thoughts on that, as far as immigration in the United States?
You know what I think is they do something like really like a hack for us, I think, because I'm immigrant too. And then how I say, so they know her like really bad.
Don't worry about how it comes.
We have like mostly people coming from Mexico, from different places to South America or Central America, come to work for opportunity for our family, you know. And then also we make family here too. When we get married with American or with some women from the same country too.
Yeah.
Was it coming from? And then now the problem, I understand why he do it, no? But now a lot of people have family here, you know. You get separate kids, they born here, you understand?
Yeah.
They don't know nothing about over there. And then I have a lot of people live over here for like 15, 20 years, you know. They already established over here.
Sure.
This one is difficult.
It's difficult. So what do we do with someone who broke the law and came here a while ago and is still here illegally?
You know, I'm trying to fix the problem. You know, a lot of people like me, we pay taxes, we do all the things is under law, you know. Mm-hmm. Only the problem we do is when we come in here, LA. You know, it's only that. It's only one thing we broke.
Yeah.
From here. You know, I have a lot of people over here, even American people, they broke the law like many times.
Yeah.
Then USA don't do nothing with that. No. We come over here.
Well, if they don't get caught.
Yeah. We don't come over here to steal a job. We don't come over here to to steal cars, to steal money, to steal land. Only come here to work,
So,
So looking for better life,
yeah.
better life for ourselves, for our family, And then I think, but the USA is difficult to fix our papers. So me, I live here for 9 years, and married for 2 years. The country, they not pay me even a green card,
Yeah,
I'm trying already.
takes a while, yeah.
It takes a while,
Yeah.
more than 2 years, and then they give it no get nothing,
Right.
It's still the same.
So you're married to an American?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not at risk of being deported then. But
Over here it's not very dangerous, but you see what happened in California, where it's more my people over there when it's like,
well, what do you mean your people?
my people is like Mexican. I'm Mexican,
Both my parents came here in my dad came here in 63, but my parents 65.
Okay.
And growing up our whole lives in Los Angeles, California, surrounded by a lot of immigrants, surrounded by a lot of, ethnicities, surrounded by a lot of culture, they still said it doesn't matter what that says. You're still 100% American. The country comes first. This is the country that gave us freedom. Our country took away our freedom in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was very interesting to see all that, and it was very interesting to grow up around that kind of environment and still have that mindset. And what boggles my mind is that people don't see that.
Yeah.
They just want to keep on going with this narrative of, immigrants should be allowed to do whatever they want and they should be free. It kills me.
If I were to go to Mexico and live there, and by the way, I can't protest. I can't even own waterfront property in Mexico, right? And I said, no, but I'm American. I'm not Mexican. That would not be tolerated. Americans, I will say this, and I'm half Canadian, don't like it when they hear you say, I'm Mexican. Then we don't want people here who don't identify as American. Is that fair? Because you shouldn't be here if you're not American. Is it?
I think this one is a world freedom for everybody. I think land is not on for nobody. I think people need to go wherever they want. I understand the rules about the countries, I think mostly Latin or Hispanic people, maybe 90%, they not broke the rules. They only come here for work,
At your house, do you wave the American flag? Chinese flag?
Oh, we don't have any flags.
Get an American flag. We expect that of immigrants here. You come here, you gotta be American, gotta love America.
I'm not fully American, yeah. I'm still Chinese.
Oh, guess what? Guess what? Just start considering it tryouts.
Oh, maybe it's April this year.
Well, because Americans, I will say, I'm half Canadian, was raised there. Americans don't take very kindly. Actually, let me show you. These are the riots, the protests. What do you think they would do in China?
It's the one in LA.
Yeah, what do you think they would do in China if you were protesting and waving a foreign flag?
This will never happen.
It seems like people who flee actual communism are very patriotic.
Absolutely. It's because, they understand what they understand what they've lost. I mean, they understand what they've left and they understand what they're gaining.
Yeah.
And they're willing to put in the effort and the work into what they're gaining versus what they never had.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good, it's the only country that we know of that nobody wants to leave, but they want to talk as much crap as they want about it.
I know.
It's the only one that we know of.
And I appreciate that you are working. But you and I both know that's not all people coming here illegally. And also, hundreds of terrorists were captured at the border, right, when the border's open. There are more slaves on Earth than ever, 40 million, many of them. You know the cartels, right? If you try and come here, you know that for every person like you, there's a dozen people who were captured by the cartels, taken advantage of, right? They run the southern border. And that illegal immigrants are 2 to 5 times more likely to commit crimes, and they cost taxpayers $400 billion a year. So Americans are just saying, hey, come here legally, get on the... In other words, someone like you who pays taxes, who works, they don't have a problem. They will have a problem with you saying you're Mexican, not American.
Yeah.
Because come here, you're American. But we do need to find out who's coming in.
The problem to come here legally is difficult, really difficult to get like a visa or like how I say in English. My English is really bad.
No, actually, it's not bad. It's good. I appreciate it.
It's really difficult to come legal over here to USA. For this one, mostly people do it that way. It's the way we have to come here. You could stay in. You don't have to come to the States. It's not a law. It's difficult for a lot of people to stay in Mexico because Mexico, they have a problem about cartels. Where you go live, I have a lot of people they run away from cartels. They looking for a place to live, and I guess happy.
They're escaping violence or crime or poverty.
All these things.
Yes.
Other people coming over here because they poor. They have his family. They don't have money, or they wanna do something better to them.
It's better here.
My mom, we have a decent house,
Mm-hmm.
but I want something better for my mom.
Right.
I want something better for my sister.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come over here legally before, when I was in the college, USA did not give me the opportunity to come over here, you know?
Yeah.
And when Mexico get really difficult to live, when I have my two sisters and my mom,
Yeah.
and my dad died, so I need to find the solution.
Same place. If we're like focusing on criminals first, but also I don't know if it's just the media or like what I'm reading is there are a lot of, just on the street, people getting arrested.
Some people.
For no reason.
So, like, probably, let me guess. Okay, and I'm just going to guess. You probably read about the man who was deported to an El Salvador prison.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have been deported, right?
I don't know about this matter like as well. So
No, I'm
not
saying
gonna
because you're saying the
comment
media.
on
That's a
this.
famous one.
It's just like there's a lot of coverage on these topics. So
Yeah.
I think maybe it's just not as known to the public that what are the steps that they're taking to make this happen.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good message to let the public know.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing is, part of the country is trying to, and the media is feeding lies. So that man is actually MS-13. He's a human trafficker. He's being brought back.
There you go. Yeah.
The
So
le-
I think those things are not getting highlighted enough.
Yeah. Every single example.
Or like, these are the, standards that we're going after.
Yeah.
I don't think those are, at least I haven't seen those.
Well, I think we need to deport everyone here illegally because we don't know who they are.
Yes.
And because of the crime and because of the drug cartels. And I understand people are seeking a better life, but the problem is you're empowering really bad people. And if you don't,
Correct.
just like in China, they wouldn't tolerate it, right? If you were driving without a license in China, you're probably
in
going...
big trouble.
And whereas here, they just deport you. They go, oh, you're not supposed to be here anyway. You're driving without a license or you got a DWI. Well, we're going to deport you. And then that's seen as cool.
Plane tickets? Or,
Yeah. Send them back. They can self-identify, deport, and come back.
know.
I had a lady actually right up here at this hotel. I was there for New Year's, and privileged white lady,
Of course.
And she was blaming the current situation in Cuba on the United States. I was
Really?
like, what? She goes, yeah, well, the embargoes. And I go, okay. Cuba, here's the horrible part about Cuba. It has the perfect climate to grow anything.
Anything, yeah.
Anything. It's
Yeah.
like slapping God in the face putting communism in there.
Absolutely.
Also, they have the two biggest trading partners, communist China and Russia.
And Russia.
And they still can't make it work. How is this our fault?
Yeah, it's not. It's not. I know that. I mean, Cuba is actually the gateway to the West.
Yeah.
As far as the ports, I'm sure that during the American Civil War, Spain was back in the Confederacy, and they said, hey, if you win the war, we'll give you Cuba.
Yeah, well, it even goes back further than that with the...
100%.
But it's funny that you mentioned that. A lot of people don't realize Mexico was only a country for was it 23 or 27 years?
I think it was like 27 years.
Yeah, 27 years.
Yeah.
So USA stolen land, and then it was a treaty.
It was.
And then we were watching the live riots, and they go, we say the most dangerous immigrants ever were from 1492. I'm like, you mean the Spanish?
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
You're right back there.
Not even British or American or French or German. It was the Spanish.
If you like conversations like this, hit the like button or subscribe or tune into The Daily Show weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Let's continue with talking with people.
Why, when you just say people are escaping a country, drug cartels, poverty, right? More opportunity here, it's better. Why would you identify with the country that you had to leave to seek that opportunity? Don't you think it showed to people here who work and pay taxes? Go, like, hey, that seems like a lack of gratitude. If you're here, you should want to be American or you shouldn't be here. Not Mexican.
I'm trying to fix that thing, of course. I'm trying hard. I told you already, 2 years to fight to stay here because now I want to stay here. This one is my house now. I live over here now.
Yeah.
My family is over there. You understand?
Right. Yeah.
Of course, I'm born over there and still identification Mexican because I'm born in Mexico. And
Sure.
But I live here for like almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stay here. I guess if the governor, he going to let me stay here.
Yeah.
I'm already get married. I want to have my children here, I want to make my family here.
Well, Cuba is, I'm one of the, at least for a portion of time, I went and entertained the troops in Guantanamo Bay. And then because I had a Canadian passport, I went there to shoot a commercial. So I was one of the few people who legally had both passport stamps. Guantanamo Bay, because only Americans go there. No Canadian military anyways. But then also in Havana. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, it's really sad to see.
It is absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
It is absolutely horrible. I have friends that visited there and they've left their suitcases and all their belongings there just so, people get in and, and then they say it's the greatest, it's like, oh yeah, it's a great country. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like they have nothing. They're literally living in dirt houses and trapping in holes and like, communism is the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Communism is the worst thing in the world. It does not work.
Well, especially because it's like you take Cuba, you go, you have everything that if communism would work, it should work here. They had slaves that came over, so there are a lot of black Cubans, but pretty homogenous compared to the United States.
Absolutely.
Very, very fertile soil, right?
Yes.
Huge trading partners. And they've had it unfettered, and it's only gotten worse.
It's only gotten worse. It's never gotten any better, and I don't understand why they can't see that. And then, of course, it's always our fault. It's always America's fault. It's always, it's always us saying that, well, you guys haven't tried to open up any trade or any kind of routes with them or any kind of negotiations with them. And like, they didn't want to. They're making so much money hand over fist. Why would they want to change that?
Yeah.
I mean, everything. Well, just like you said, everything goes directly to the government.
Yeah.
Nothing goes to the people whatsoever.
Yeah.
People always say communism works. I'm like, explain to me how communism works. And they say, well, on paper it looks great. I said, yes. Now put the human mind into it.
Yeah.
Greedy people, evil people. It doesn't matter if they're the top or on the bottom. It doesn't matter. They're going to take advantage of the situation as much as possible.
Now centralize that power.
Correct.
See what kind of problem you get.
Exactly. It's the same thing here. It just blows my mind.
Do you know what the immigration policy is like in China?
It's very strict. It's very not welcoming, as far as I'm understanding.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard to get in. It's very hard to stay. But I think right now, as just based on their current growth in terms of population and economy, they definitely need to update their procedures as well.
Yeah.
So that they can not only attract foreign talents, but also have the local talents to stay.
So
they now have a pretty big linkage.
So you would acknowledge that it definitely is easier for you to immigrate here than for people to get into
100%.
China.
So my husband is American. We talked about it a lot. Depends on how it goes. We either need to stay here or we can move back to China. But I think it's gonna
You would move back to China, really?
Just have the possibilities open. But I think as we're talking, it's just like it's gonna be a lot easier for me to stay here than like him coming to China.
Is America the greatest country in the world?
America, for me, they bring me everything, make me happy.
No, not selfishly. Is it the greatest country on earth?
Yes and no.
Great.
What country's better?
I don't think so. No country is better. Every country they have they pros. They have they good things and they have the bad things. Everywhere they don't have like a happiness place in the world. Never. You not go find it.
That's the big difference when people talk about we're a nation of immigrants, and that's true. But the Italians, the Irish, the Poles, Germans at one point in time. There's a big difference. First off, that was pre-welfare, right? You pay taxes. A lot of illegal immigrants don't. That's one of the benefits. But all those people came to this country, and every single one would say, I came to the greatest country in the world, and I'm grateful to be here. And if not, they went back and left. This is the first generation of people who come here and say, yeah, but it's not that great.
A lot of people come here for opportunity.
That's greedy.
Maybe like 50%, they only come for 4 years and they go back.
Yeah.
4 years and they go back. 4 years and they go back.
Yeah, that's done. No more of that. That shouldn't be allowed.
One thing is because...
Do you agree that shouldn't be allowed? You shouldn't be allowed to come here, benefit from the system, and go back. What's the benefit for Americans if you come here for 4 years?
The problem is America, they don't pay you the money for free. We work for the bank. We work.
No, the problem is coming here and sending the money back.
Look, but when we get the check, we pay the taxes, We bring the taxes out. When I get my first check, and my check, they say, this one is the money you go bring to America, all the money is for me. America get percent too, to understand?
The taxes.
For my work.
Yes.
I'm working for that.
Because you pay taxes.
Yeah, I pay taxes. So I'm not
everyone here
does. I'm not coming over here to take the money, only and then go. I'm working over here, I pay percent of the taxes. Mostly people do, because I think mostly checks, they take you the tax out.
Sure.
On your check. So it's not true to say, the people come over here and then take the money and then go back.
No, what I'm saying is, how do you build a country with people who come in, take advantage of the opportunity, and leave?
A lot of people...
Mexico doesn't allow that.
A lot of people, Mexico do that. A lot of other people come to Mexico and do the same thing. Most of the people stay because maybe they love Mexico, they like Mexico, all these things. A lot of Americans go to Mexico and live in Mexico. They don't pay taxes. They work with the computer, and they get money over
far
here.
Fewer than coming to the States. And you're not even allowed to own waterfront property in Mexico. Their immigration laws are way stricter.
No, and Mexico...
Yes, they are.
They not ask you for taxes like here, You don't get check from over here, and Mexico say, pay me taxes, whatever you win. No, you don't pay taxes.
You don't pay taxes in Mexico?
If you're American, no.
If you're living, you become Mexican citizens don't pay taxes, or even on tourism.
A lot of Americans, they live in Mexico City a lot because I went to college there.
Sure.
They rent apartment there. They don't pay taxes to Mexico. They only get a check from USA, pay the rent, buy the things.
You mean they're being paid from the States? You mean like if they're on their social security, stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not working a job. That's very different. What I'm saying is coming here, working,
Yes.
and going back in 4 years, how do you build a country on people who come and leave?
They come to help you, you know? They people build that thing. They people build that thing. Build this one, build this one.
Could Americans build it?
For America, they go stay over here. They're not going to take with them.
But could Americans build it?
I guess they go take more time.
Really? Why, you think that is good?
I guess we are the workers really hard in this country, and then you see it if you go looking everywhere. This one's not lie, you know. I'm not say this one because I'm Mexican. I say this one because I see this, you know.
Yeah.
I see Latin, Hispanic, Mexican work and the street work and that thing, work and this one. I don't see a lot of Americans do that. You understand? It's hard work and this heat, you know.
But do you think
Work
that
like
maybe that's
8,
because illegal immigrants are cost a company less?
because they cost
Do you think
less.
that- yeah.
They cost less.
Yeah.
Understand that?
So what if Americans
So
would
this
do
one
it
is
for a
little
fair
abuse
wage? Yeah.
For that one too, you know, if we are legally, you know, we
Right.
go ask you for 30, 35, 40
Right.
per hour, you know.
Right.
We get 20, 22, and also we get these $22 per hour.
Yeah.
We pay taxes. You understand how difficult it is?
Well, you pay taxes.
Honestly, pay taxes. I think when you get a check, because when you are a company, construction company, the government will ask you who you hired, who it is.
Is America a better country than China?
I think it is better. I think it is definitely a better place to, you know, have a better work-life balance. Like cost of living is not as high as, especially in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
And then just overall, not as much. I don't feel as much of peer pressure here. So definitely for me, I think it's a better fit here.
My dad came here on a banana boat, Chiquita banana boat. He hid in the bananas, came here in 1963, landed in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, joined the Army.
Wow.
And again, first joined the Army, then once that was done, because the Bay of Pigs was killed after Kennedy was assassinated, so the Army gave him an option. You could either stay in, or we can ETS you and you could go on your way. And he's like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And so he met up with some friends and some Cubans that he met. They got an apartment together, and they've worked together, and they paid taxes. They became American citizens. My dad became American citizen in 1986. My mom became American citizen in 1988. My mom had
She's Cuban?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My mom left Cuba in 1965.
Okay.
And so my mom and my dad sort of met. They went to New York. One winter in New York, they're like, we're done.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
We're done. So then they came back to Florida, and then they said, look, there's no work here. We need to work.
Yeah.
And we want to contribute. So they went straight to California, found tons of work there. My mom worked for the Los Angeles Zoo for 20 plus years. My dad worked for the zoo as well.
Let me guess, she worked other jobs too. Like,
yes.
All Cubans I know have side hustles because they go,
Yes.
wait, I get paid more if I work overtime? Because it's so, over there you work as long as they tell you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, she did that. She did. So she worked at the LA Zoo. My dad worked nights. She worked days. And what they did is they tried to buy a small little like restaurant in Burbank, California, or Glendale. And whoever was not working, they would go work the shop, and then they would switch off when the person got off work. So it was something of that, you know. It was very, very it was very inspiring to see the American dream come true for so many people that came here.
Yeah.
And my parents being one of them.
What's your duty to America? What do you owe America for giving you the opportunity? What's your duty to this country?
I guess not broke the law, work hard. Then maybe when you go bring me the papers, I will try to help more. I guess no, I cannot do nothing.
Yeah.
Only work and then respect people and not disrespect their country, because this country bring me a lot. You know what I don't do.
I think that's a good attitude.
Yeah, only that I can tell right now. I cannot do nothing more, nothing less.
Well, I think that's a good attitude. So you won't be rioting in the streets like in Los Angeles, burning down cop cars. I don't think so. I think you're a working man with a family. It seems like every Cuban American I know.
Yeah.
And the way I had to explain it to me, I said, well, because for us, when we first hear about like overtime, yes, you have to understand like a month's pay over there is a month's pay, and you can maybe get a bar of soap.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. So when we come here, we're like, wait, I get time and a half. Wait, I can work another job that I choose.
Absolutely.
And that's not what we're seeing right now with this current generation of immigrants.
No, we're not. What we're seeing is, what can you give me, and I don't want to give nothing back to you, and I want to change the entire culture to where I came from, because that's what makes me feel good.
Right.
You know, but it's like, but you left there for a reason.
Yeah.
Your culture wasn't working. I'm not saying that your culture is bad, but the government's not working, and if you start bringing those kind of elements back into the government, you're going to get the same thing you had where you came from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's like this week, the same guy, he talked about how he sent his money back home. And they talked about a lot of people, they come in, they work for 4 years and they leave, so they don't cost taxpayers money. I said, okay, how do we build a country
Yeah.
on people who send their money out and come here for 4 years and leave? We can't.
There's
build a
no way to
country.
sustain us now. There's no way to sustain that. Yeah, and that's the biggest problem with with that. I personally think that they shouldn't be allowed to do that. If they do that, it should be taxed.
Yeah.
It should be 100% taxed.
Yeah, remittance tax, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Some kind of tax.
Well, just think about it. The Cubans, so when my mom was with me, because I was a minor in Havana, a server, it was just like at a restaurant, my mom left a tip on the receipt. I said, Mom, remember, they don't get that. My mom, being naive, sweet lady, goes, oh, I'm sorry. She goes, let me take that off and I'll give you cash. She goes, no. Because then the government would know that she told them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, just keep it, leave it there, and here's some cash anyway. Because we found out that all of it goes straight to the government.
Everything goes to the government.
And so people don't want to send their money back to communist government. It's very different from, they're not fleeing communism in Mexico. They just see more opportunity here.
Sure.
And so there's less gratitude. Yeah, in a lot of places in South America.
Yeah. And it's also a lot safer, and there's a lot more to do out here. And, it's hard to get a business license in Mexico.
Yes, it is.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get a business license in Mexico or even start up a business.
Especially if you're an immigrant.
Especially if you're an immigrant. But even if you are an immigrant and you are actually a legalized Mexican, you go to the bank and you're like, hey, I want to get a business loan. They're like, that's nice. That's really nice. Well, what do you want to do? And they're just sitting there like, I don't know, I want to sell tacos. He's like, how about marijuana?
Yeah. That's what we do.
And that's what we do here.
Thank you, Chico. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the opinion, brother.
Yes,
Be well. Thank you. I hope you and your husband do well, and I hope that you get that citizenship. You guys can stay here. All right. Thank you so much, Skyler. No, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Armando?
Yes, Armando Garcia.
Armando, thank you, man. Say thanks to your parents, too, for coming in and making the country a better place.
Well, that was mostly nice. You can let me know what you think below. This has been Talking with People. Stay tuned for next week, in which I talk with this guy. Meet, let's call him Gay Bryan.
I am of the belief that if we can help 9 people and then one bad person comes in, I'm always think it's worth helping those 9 people.
What if we know that if you said, you 9 have to stay in Mexico, we know that one bad serial rapist, murderer, enslaver would be out of business?
But that we might know that, but we also don't know that.